Good morning, namaste. We've got this wonderful location here to do yoga this morning in at the Botanical Gardens in front of this beautiful tree. So we'll just start by moving into mountain pose. Like you can just rock yourself forward and back a couple of times, just getting yourself nice and balanced through your feet. Closing our eyes. Bringing our awareness to the breath, the opening of your hands, bringing our focus inwards, finding that centered place of body and mind for our practice. Just going to start by doing a few warm-ups on the spine. So bring hands above the head as we inhale. As we breathe out, just going to roll down into a very easy forward bend. You might have to bend your knees slightly. Then as you inhale, you're going to roll yourself up. Stretch up onto your toes. Grounding the heels. Okay, just rolling down. Stretching a lot of that facial connective tissue through the body. It runs over the back of the spine and the top of the head. Reaching up. Coming back to our mountain pose, this very important postural stance. Okay, we're taking up the left foot, placing on the inside of the right leg. Into our tree position. Extending a little further by raising the arms here. Feel like your hips are lifting slightly away from the feet. Stretching out through the fingers. Hands coming to the heart. Second balancing position is to take that left ankle just below your right knee. And keeping the back straight, we're squatting down to the second balancing position. Elevating the body from there. Raising the arms. Flowing the arms back to our side. Changing sides. So aim to keep yourself nice and controlled and relaxed here. Find a nice balanced position through those stable points on your feet, your foot. So moving again to the elevated position with the arms up. While that bottom foot's strongly grounded, keep extending up through the legs, the hips, the arms. Bringing the hands back to the heart. Moving to the second position. Opening the hip first. Coming down to your balance position. Slowly coming up. Raising the arms. Extending our feet a little wider in our stance, pulling back on the shoulder blades, broadening across the chest. Let's hold an extended forward bend, similar to a shape of a number 7. Start with your hands below your knees. So from side on, that nice length through the spine. Don't round your back. Gently contract or squeeze our shoulder blades together. If it's a little bit strong, you can slightly bend your knees, but it's more beneficial to have a full extension through the back of the legs. Okay, bending the knees, curving the back, spine, rolling up. Taking your hands above the head. If you're not already positioned, you can take your feet to the front of the mat, move into a sun salute, forward bending, hands to floor. Left foot steps back, moving to a high lunge, raising the arms, this back leg keeping nice and straight, take our hips back, chest is nice and flat, not opened. Bring our arms to shoulder height. Moving the spine to a twist, so take your left arm forward, right arm back. And we bring that right arm down to grab the back of the left leg, turning your head forward, a little bit of an arch back. Releasing your right arm. Going to move into a plank position. Perfectly extended out with the shoulders positioned above your hands. Bringing our feet together. Side plank, taking a weight onto your left hand. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little here, you can take the knee to elbow. Do that 4 times. Turning to full plank. Step the feet apart. You've got the option of keeping your knees off or on the floor. Grounding the body slowly. Squeeze those elbows to the body. coming down. Going to move into a very easy back arch, sliding the hands past the shoulders. Comfortable back arch, shoulders relaxed. Okay, we're going to slowly come back to the mat. Counterposing with a child pose. Keep our arms extended forward here, grounding the forehead. When we're positioned in our child pose, feel the breath reaching out into the side of your rib cage. Coming back to an all-four position, we'll tuck our toes under, stepping the feet a little bit apart, heels high. Let's move into our down dog pose. Okay, and if you're finding a little bit strong, you can micro bend the knees. Shoulders relax, shoulder blades are moving toward the hips. Okay, we'll step. Bring our feet back to the front of the mat. With a rounded back, that spinal rolling movement we like to do. Bring the hands above the head. Exhaling out to that forward bend, shoulder blades gently contracted together, forward bend, stepping back there with the right foot, we've changed sides, raising the arms, fantastic pose, this high lunging position, strengthening the legs, very good for mobilizing your hips. Okay, we're going to be twisting there, so bring your right arm forward. We bring that left arm to grab the back of our right leg. Arching back a little. And turning that left arm above your head. Hands forward. Into our plank. So moving on to the opposite side, bringing the weight onto your right arm, to your side plank. Again, elbow to knee if you're feeling like you want a bit of a challenge here. We'll do 4 of these. Again, returning to our full plank. Grounding the knees, moving to child pose. Keeping those arms extended forward, elbows off the ground, forehead relaxed. Bringing our hands slightly forward, back toward the knees, coming onto all fours, moving into a pose that's called threading the needle. So we're going to take our right hand, Just slide it on the inside of your left with your right hand or palm facing up, grounding the temple region, balancing out the legs so you're not placing too much weight on one leg. We'll move into a twist, so taking that left arm up, you can wrap it behind your back if you're able to. Hold and grab the inside of your right leg, pulling back on that left shoulder. Maybe you have to see on the video that the breath is in the abdomen. Just shifting my hips a little bit across to the right. Very good pose for stretching the neck, spine and shoulder joint. Okay, from there we'll release that left arm. I'm going to take it directly forward, stretching out in front. If you've got quite a bit of tension in your neck and shoulders, this might be a little bit too strong for you, so return to the twist. Okay, we'll just bring back that left arm, place it next to the side of the head, coming out of that position. We'll move on to the second side. Hands directly positioned below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. This time we'll take the left arm out. So you're nice and grounded before you begin. Got a stable base. Then we can take that right arm, drawing it back, just keeping a look on that right shoulder at the corner of your eye as you draw it back. Balancing out your body weight through the knees and hips so that you're evenly positioned on both sides. With that nice deep yoga breath, breathing into the belly. Okay, we're taking the right arm now, stretching that forward, holding that position. Okay, that's a little bit too strong for you. Just return to the twist. I'll remove myself back to the twist here. Okay, we're taking our right hand to the side of the face, pushing up. It's coming to a position where we're sitting down on our feet, seated on our feet. Just move into an easy neck stretch from there. With the left hand moving behind the back. The right hand will come over to the opposite side of the head, breathing in. Drawing our left shoulder down first. As we go into that nice stretch for the neck. Feeling the tension being released with each breath. Be careful you're not forcing your neck beyond its range. Okay, we'll slowly come back up. Changing the arms, having a few minor things happening here with the insects. Right shoulder down. I always like to encourage students to just ease into their stretching. Take it to a very comfortable range. Hold that range for a little while. Then as you become more relaxed, the breath will take you deeper. And the outward breath we can release from there. Okay, coming into a seated position with the right leg opened up. With our left leg bent. I'm a bit concerned about being bit by ants here. So keeping that right hip nice and grounded. So hips are very level, we're not twisted up. Arms at shoulder height, extending out. So there's a couple of options you can use here with your right arm. You can just sit the palm over the top of the ankle, move into that extended side angle pose. Or if you're more flexible, you can drop your elbow to the floor. Okay, I'll move back into that first position. Drawing back through the chest. So this side bending with a bit of a twist. Very important exercises, these side bends and twists. So we keep our spine and our spinal muscles healthy. That nice deep stretch around the top of the hip also. On the inward breath, coming up. So to a single-legged forward bend, we're just moving the knees slightly forward, so we've got a right angle with those two legs. Starting with the back straight. Drawing back on your right foot, so the toes are not pointed, a little bit of a lift through the chest, raising the arms. So with our forward bend, we're going to be hinging or bending forward from the hips. So this position from the head to the hips remains unchanged. So just like to walk your hands forward. Slightly lifting the thigh muscles around the kneecap. For those who are a little bit more flexible, additional position you can use is to bring this left foot onto your right thigh in a half lotus position. So raising the arms, coming forward. Even more flexible again, you can take that left hand, just grabbing the big toe there on that left foot. Right shoulder will come forward. Okay, so you've got a few options there. Choose the one that's most suited to you. Always work with your own body messages in mind, so you're not pushing beyond your limit here. It's comfortable. Breath is relaxed. Keep that back of the neck nice and long. Chin slightly to chest. Okay, so we're going to elevate the body from the inward breath. So this is a little bit of a challenging pose. There is a modification if you'd like to try it. So from there, the extended leg, which is the right, I'm going to draw that right foot in as close as I can to the right hip. Now if that's a little difficult for you, the modification is to just simply release that foot, put the 2 feet together. Okay, so from there, you're taking your right arm forward, it curls around that right leg, the left arm comes around, hands together or a tight little finger grip, lifting the chest, moving to your twist. So that full extension, if you're in the half lotus pose, it's very similar, except that foot is tucked into the groin. Same again with the right arm. Moving around into that twist. So again, please choose the option that's safest for you. If you've got any pressure on this left foot or left knee, please use an easier modification for safety. On the outward breath, we release, folding the legs to a sitting position. Bring your focus back to the breath. Changing our sitting position to the opposite side. So we're taking the left leg out. Okay, and you can, for this pose, you can open your hips a little wider than the right angle. We really need to keep that left hip down. Starting with the arms raised, feel that lift of the spine away from the hips. Outward breath, again you can place the hand on top of the ankle, or again if you're more flexible, elbow to the floor. I'll go to the first position. Do your best to try and keep that side nice and long. That way the hip gets deeply stretched also, as well as the spinal muscles. Raising the arm, a little bit of a twist back. Focusing on the breath. Okay, as we inhale, we'll come up. Okay, so moving this right knee forward. So again, we've got this right angle position. Try not to have the knee behind the hip. Again, on the first side, for those who are more flexible, you can move into a half lotus, or you can keep the foot on the floor. Lifting through the chest, arms raised, hinging at the hips, coming forward. So you can either place your hands on the floor, or you may like to grab a hold of the foot, whichever you choose. Again, for those who are to choose the more advanced position, you've got the foot sitting on the thigh. Again, if you'd like to go further, you can take that right hand across, grabbing the big toe on the right foot. Bringing that right shoulder forward, forward bend. Just a little bit tight through the neck, so lengthening the back of the neck. Moving forward. Focus on the breath. For your forward bends, try not to round your spine. Okay, we're going to get a perfect hamstring stretch by tilting the hips forward, avoiding the hunchback position. Okay, we'll inhale and come up, moving to our twist. So again, as we did on the first side, we can modify this. So pulling the left foot all the way in. Okay, if you've got tightness in your feet or your knees, you can simply place 2 feet together. That's the modification. Take the left arm, you come forward, extend it around the left leg, and move to your twist. If you're not able to lock your fingers together, additional pose is to just place the palms on the floor and use your hands as a lever to push into the twist. So they're the 2 easy modifications. The full position, again, is to have the foot on the hip in that half lotus, locking the hands together. Okay, we'll release the arms. So once again, just coming back to a sitting position. Moving back to the breath just for a moment. It's always nice to center ourselves, come back to the breath. Moving into a reverse plank position now. We've done a regular plank. So taking our feet forward. Placing the hands behind the hips. Turning and pointing the fingers forward. Toes will be pointed. Take the shoulders, roll them back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, then we can inhale, lift to that reverse plank. To come out of the pose, just lift the head first, slowly come down. From there, we'll come down onto our forearms, a little bit of abdominal work, so with the feet together, knees together, just take the legs to one side, roll them up, squeeze them towards the opposite arm, drawing up. We'll do this 5 times on each side. So some good core work here. It's always important to have strength and flexibility. Okay, one more each side. Okay, once you've completed that, you can roll down. Just do a few knee circles toward your chest. changing your direction. Okay, we'll roll over to the side from there. Coming onto all fours, we're going to be moving into a hip opening stretch. So with our hands at the front of the mat, we'll begin with the left leg. We're going to bring the left knee forward so it's at the edge of your mat. And stepping up. So what that should look like is the left knee is on the outside line of the left hip. You don't want to have it in level with the left hip, it's wider. So place it at the edge of your mat. Just walking back on your right leg. Just check you've got that foot in line with the hip. Dropping your right hip down. Just start with the arms straight. Let that hip loosen up. Then we'll slowly come forward, bending the arms. Keeping our hips nice and relaxed. So again, it's important you feel like you're loosening with the hips, you're not tightening your hips. These are quite deep poses to stretch some of these hip muscles like the piriformis, gluteus. You may even like to take your head down onto two hands. Another important thing to remind yourself is to keep your abdomen relaxed. Don't keep it tight. Okay, before we change sides, we're going to move into a low plank. So we'll lock our fingers together, straightening out the right leg, lifting the knee, stepping back with the left foot, holding that position. Carefully not arching your lower back. You want to keep that lower back nice and flat. Okay, slowly come down. Coming back to all fours. This time we're taking up the right leg. So the right knee will be placed at the very edge of the right side of the mat. Just checking we've got our left foot in line with our left hip. And we need to just shift your hips a little further down on the left side. Then we're comfortable. And we can lower ourselves down. So you don't want to feel like you're swinging over to the right. You want to be feeling like actually lifting and moving your body a little more over to the left, toward that left foot. To get that deep squeezing stretch on the hips. And if you're sitting down a lot, you have a sitting position at work. A very good stretch you can use daily to open your hips. Great for circulation. Okay, come out of that position. Drawing up the back leg. Just going back and sitting on our feet. Roll the shoulders back. So to open our chest and shoulders, we'll take the hands behind with our palms together, the two thumbs joined. So squeezing and opening the chest, keeping the chin slightly down. You find if you tuck your chest in and squeeze your shoulder blades together, you get a deeper stretch. So if you've got a slightly rounded upper body, right through the chest, it's a very good exercise, so increasing your mobility through that area, increasing, stabilizing your posture. On the outward breath, just squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay, we'll release our hands there. Just rolling the shoulder blades up and back. Okay, we'll come back into standing. Back to our mountain pose. Just drawing the hands again openly forward. Stepping the feet apart. Okay, a little more difficult tree pose. You're taking the the left foot up onto the right hip. Holding that position, taking the hands to the heart. Raising your arms. Extending out through the fingertips. Bring your hands back to the side. Just change sides. So bring that foot down. Bring up the right leg. Okay. Once you've got that connection with the foot to the hip, raising the arms. So rather symbolic that we're doing this position in front of such a great tree that we're behind me. Hands to the heart. Let's just step the feet hip width apart. Finishing here with a chair pose. Moving into a twist with the chair pose. Feet hip width apart, drawing your bottom back. So you can check that your knees just slightly behind your feet. Twisting the left elbow over the right leg. Keep the knees in line with your toes. Coming back to the front, changing sides. Hands will move forward, we'll extend the arms. Chair pose. Inhaling and coming up. Arms to the side. Placing the hands forward in our mountain pose. With the focus on the breath. Okay, we'll come into a sitting position. So, sitting position of your choice. Returning our focus to the breath. Hands in a chi mudra. Index finger and thumb are together. With the tip of the tongue, just softly touching the tip of the tongue to the upper palate. This creates an energetic circle through the body. Relaxing the eyes. Our breath work here is preparing the mind to focus on meditation. Allow your eyes to roll back. Focus on the breath. So we're going to now move into our kirtan, yoga sound meditation, for the final part of our practice this morning. We're going to be using the yoga mantra, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. So this powerful practice of meditation is where we engage the mind on transcendental sound. So as I mentioned, we'll be focusing on the mantra Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. I'll sing the mantra for you twice, and you can repeat the mantra in a call and response method back to me. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Haribo, Nityaiko, Nityaiko, Haribo, Haribo, Nityaiko, Nityaiko, Haribo. 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 Sing the last one together. Haribo, Nityaiko, go Haribo, Haribo, Nityaiko, Nityaiko, Haribo. Just keeping our eyes closed. So thank you for joining us in this asana class. Namaste.